talking about my MEDHOLD experience. In this video, I'm not going into too much detail because I cannot, because there are other people involved in this story and in my life in MEDHOLD. So I can only give you like certain little details and parts about it. I cannot go into full detail about everything, but I hope you enjoyed this video. So please give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Let's get into the video. So, MEDHOLD. So, if you watched my first video, my first ever video, that's where I talked about my Air Force experience as a whole. Now today, I'm talking about my experience in MEDHOLD. So, MEDHOLD, where do I begin with MEDHOLD? So I arrived to MEDHOLD November 2nd after failing my PT test by 30 seconds because I couldn't pass my run, and they sent me to MEDHOLD for the Get Fit program. So now I'm in the Get Fit program, running, blah, blah, blah. I explained all of this in my last video, and I'm running, crying, and I'm in so much pain as I'm running. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to suck it up so I can continue, so I can just pass my PT test and get back into, so I can just graduate and get out of BMT. Like, that's the whole goal. I just wanted to graduate and get out of BMT. So now at this point, my MTI is telling me how, my MTI sends me to the Reed to go get medical done, x-rays done and all that stuff, and then my x-ray results came back that I had multiple stress fractures in my legs, really bad ones going down my legs, blah, blah, blah. All of that great stuff that I talked about during my first video. So now, I'm officially in MEDHOLD. I'm supposed to be in MEDHOLD for about 6 weeks, at most, they think, just to heal. That's what the time that they're kind of giving me, 6 weeks. Yeah, I was in there longer than 6 weeks. But anyways, I'm in MEDHOLD for about, I'm supposed to be in MEDHOLD for about 6 weeks, so I'm supposed to heal and then get back out. Now, this MEDHOLD, when I first got in there, the whole plan was just to, I was just focused on getting out, so I wasn't really into making no friends. I was really quiet. You can ask any of the girls that was in Alpha 4 with me when I first got there. I really wasn't into making really friends. I talked here and there, but I really wasn't into all of that talking. I had one girl who processed me into MEDHOLD, and ever since then, me and her were like this. Like, from the beginning till when she left me. I was so sad when she left me, but I was happy for her because she needed to get up out of there too. So me and this girl who processed me, we were like this the whole time. Like, we did everything together. So now I find out that I'm actually gonna be placed into MEDHOLD, and I'm taken out of the Get Fit program, pissed, livid, blah, 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 over it. Over the whole experience, over life, over it all. So now I am transferred out of Get Fit program into the MEDHOLD program, and this is where things kind of change for me, because I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be here longer. Let me start socializing, making a little bit of friends, because I'm gonna be here for a hot minute. So one of the girls, I did not like her for nothing, and now I love her to death. But one of the girls I did not like when I first got in there was France. She had this, her and Bridges had this attitude about them when we were doing Day Room Go. So let me explain Day Room Go before I continue. Day Room Go is something that we do every night because we have to write down on the board on, like, we have to discuss like what appointments people have the next day, because we had to have people there to cover the EC shifts and all of that stuff. So we had Day Room Go every night. Day Room Go was so annoying. I didn't know my first couple days, weeks in there, my first like 2 weeks in there, I was over the shit. Bro, I don't have time for this. Can we get what we have to get, like, done? And then I wasn't mean, I wasn't rude, but they were extra as shit all the time during Day Room Go sometimes. And there was particular times where I was just like, I was over it. I was not in the mood for it. All I wanted to do was crawl in my bed, because I was over it. Completely, totally over it. So yeah, Day Room Go was just annoying every single night. and I didn't see the point in it because actually at the time I really didn't care for it. France and Bridges pissed me off every single day we go because they're very rude, especially Bridges. She was in MEDHOLD for too long. But at this point, she was over it. She was over repeating the same thing every day, every night, because that's what it kind of is. You repeat and go over the same thing every day and every night. And day room, it's annoying because when it comes to MEDHOLD, it's different than actual line flight. When I say line flight means actual BMT, when you're actually just pushing through and you're going through to finish your 8.5 weeks. So that's what line flight is. So when you're in actual line flight, it's not like that at all. Your MTIs kind of tell you what you're doing, but in MEDHOLD, your day is kind of up to you because you don't have much to do during the day, because most of people in MEDHOLD are either healing, they already go home because of medical records or anything that stopped them from being there, they go home for. So, where am I leaving off in this story? Bridges and France, they were just very rude at the beginning. I didn't like them. And France and Bridges didn't like me either. Well, Bridges is going to say that's not true. But France, we had a conversation about this. She didn't like me, and I did not like her. She didn't like me because she thought that I was rude. Because they would do dumb, like, they would be arguing. Because it's a whole bunch of girls living together. They would argue over stupid shit. And then I would be like, bro, how about we just... No, this is not even... I used to tell them, because day room go used to be mad long. It used to be like going on to 30 to 40 minutes. I was like, y'all got... When I first got there, I was like, y'all got 20 minutes to tell me what we need to do and talk about what we have to do before I get up and walk up out of here. Because I'm not sitting here for another 30 or 40 minutes every single day. So even during day room go, like, I would count down and be like, y'all got 10 minutes left. Let's go. Hurry up. Let's speed it up. So Bridges and France didn't like me. Maybe it sounds a little rude, but I wasn't being rude because... this process took too damn long. But eventually I became friends with Bridges in France. But the way I became friends with Bridges was one night we had EC. EC is like the worst thing that you can possibly have to do in BMT. Everybody hates doing EC shift because you have to wake up. So we go to bed at 9 o'clock. And then we wake up at 5:45. So EC is when you wake up and do a 2-hour shift, like guarding the door. So, bro, hated EC so much. So one night I woke up from my EC shift and I was not feeling good at all. And I was supposed to do an EC shift. I was not feeling good. And then remember the girl that I said I was close with when I first got there? She and this other girl, they woke up and they were going to come with me to the hospital because I was not feeling good. But then my MTI told me I would have to wait a whole hour for medical to get here before I even get transported to the hospital. So it's okay if I die in my dorm, then I'll just die. I'm gonna go back upstairs to my dorm, and if I die in my dorm, I'm just gonna die in my dorm because what is the point of waiting for an hour for medical? Like, it did not make any sense at all. So anyways, so I was gonna finish my EC shift, but this girl, she told me, she's like, no, you're not feeling good, go back to sleep and I'm gonna finish the shift for me. We only had like an hour left in the shift anyway, so she was gonna finish the shift. She finished the shift for me. Now the person who's supposed to wake up next for their shift decided that they weren't gonna wake up next, so she ended up doing like, she was up basically for like 4 hours she finished my shift, which she had no problem with, but she had a problem with doing someone else's shift. So the next morning, I don't remember, but I don't know if Bridges knew I was there. She didn't realize I was there. But all I hear is, well, Hazewood's best friend did her shift for her, and now she's complaining because she was up for 4 hours. If she never did Hazewood's shift, I was like, excuse me, first of all, I wasn't feeling good. It wasn't like I told her to do my shift because I didn't want to do it. It's because I was not feeling good, and she told me she was going to do it for me because she's my friend, because she knew I wasn't feeling good. If it's a problem, you come say something to me, but not like talk a whole bunch of nonsense. And then me and Bridges became friends after this because she's like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I was just meaning like it's not supposed to be like that. Like she wasn't supposed to do that 4-hour shift, blah, 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 blah. It was just a whole big commotion, and it got settled either way. So that's how I became friends with Bridges, and I love that girl to death now. We became I moved my bed from B bay to A bay. And me and her were bed bunks. She used to crack me up. We used to just sit there and talk. She made things easier and better for me because she kind of understood everything that I was going through, because we weren't going through similar situations, but they were close enough to where she understood what I was going through, and we bonded. Like, that's gonna be my god babies. No, that's gonna be my children's godmother. Like, that's my girl for life. But anyway, France. Let's talk about France. Did not like this girl at all. I didn't like France because there was this girl in the dorm bullying this other girl, and I'm not with all the bully stuff. Like, not with it. At this point in time, I've been in MEDHOLD for like probably like 4 weeks, but I say for a month because I was in MEDHOLD for a month, but I was in the MEDHOLD program for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks at this time. And this girl was bullying this girl, but nobody likes her and this other girl, but they were bullying her. And I did not like France at first because I felt like France didn't have a backbone and she was following other people. But that's not how France is. France just, like, she sticks up for her friends, and that's just it. She was just sticking up for her friends, and it was just a lot at the time, and it looked like bullying. Yeah, I wasn't okay with that at all. But anyways, at this point in time, I became, Bay Chief, and I enjoyed it. It was cool. When I became Bay Chief, some of the girls that I was friends with, they didn't like me anymore for a while because they thought I was being they thought that when I got that Bay Chief title, I became what's the word? I became power hungry, or I was being mad different. And I didn't think I was just being different. It was just like, when you now as Bay Chief, certain things you have to report to MTIs sometimes when the dorm chief isn't around. And okay, so let me explain this. I wasn't being a bystander to the bullying before, but when I became Bay Chief, I did not want to allow certain things that were allowed before to continue to happen. So because I didn't allow certain things to happen, people thought I was being power hungry, and I changed. I had no problem with it, but at the same time, now that the MTIs are looking at me and watching me, I didn't want to allow certain things that I used to just not care about before, because now that could come back on me, the dorm chief, and the other Bay Chief. So I wasn't being power hungry. It's just certain things that y'all did, that people did, that didn't make no sense to me. Like, I don't like bullies, and people were really being some bullies, and to this day I still don't like bullies, so I really don't care. But anyways, yeah, so Alpha 4 had a lot of drama for a little bit because of the crazy stuff that went on in it. It was just too much, way too much. So, what else happened? Now, when I got Alpha 4 and Alpha 5 had to merge at one point in time. Bro, when I'm telling you, this merge was the worst thing that ever happened while I was there. It was literally the worst thing that ever happened. Actually, pause. It wasn't the worst thing that ever happened. It became the worst thing that ever happened when this girl became dorm chief and we had this other girl become Bay Chief. That's when it became the worst thing that ever happened. So once again, I got another call in the middle of my freaking video. Oh, I need a camera ASAP because this is not working. But anyways, what was I talking about? The merge. Oh, okay. So those who know, when the merge happened, it was ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. But I personally hated the merge after a while because I was ready to step down from my student leader position, because the nonsense that was going on between me, the dorm chief, and the other Bay Chief was ridiculous. Like, it wasn't like actual fighting, arguing drama, but it was like slick stuff that was going on that they thought they were being slick about, but I peeped, and all the girls that I was friends with peeped. So I wasn't with the shit. So I was getting ready to step down because it was just too much drama and nonsense going on. But, you know, it's MEDHOLD as a whole is not that bad. It's just some of the nonsense that goes on in it that I really can't go too much into detail about, because people are gonna think I'm talking about them and saying bad things. But I did meet some really, really great people in MEDHOLD, like that that made my day so much easier and better. Like, if it wasn't for them, I would have lost my shit, because there was so much times in there where I was over it. By the time I left MedHold, I was having stress headaches. Like, I would wake up. Am I using the right sponge? Yes, I am. I think, yeah. I would wake up, have a headache till about till by the time I went to sleep, it was even worse. I could take Tylenol, ibuprofen, and none of it helped. Like, it was just bad. I was so stressed out. It was just a lot going on in my life that I just could not handle being there anymore. I was so ready to go. And I wasn't even ready to go home. I just wanted to get up out of there. Like, at that point, I was so ready to get out of there. I was doing everything that I can to get out of there, and it just was not working out in my favor. I was not arguing, but trying to figure out every method and way, running around, trying to figure out every method and way for me not to get sent home. And it didn't even work in the end. Like, I still ended up getting sent home. Personally, for me, MedHold was an experience. I learned a lot from MedHold. I learned resistance. I learned how to really, I don't know, I just learned more about myself than I thought I would have, than I did in line flight, actually. Like, I ended up, when I became dorm chief, it taught me a lot. I do have the leadership capabilities. Even Bay chief has showed me that I have the leadership capabilities. I am a good person. I am always trying to be fair to people, but it also taught me that I learned how to not tolerate a lot of BS anymore, because before I used to tolerate a lot of BS. I used to allow a lot of things to happen, and I used to make the opinions of others really influence my life. And now I don't do that, because I can care less about what anybody thinks of me negatively, because at the end of the day, I'm not a bad person. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm not a bad person. I just don't tolerate nonsense. And a lot of the girls that didn't like me in MedHold, they used to be with a lot of nonsense, and they thought they were slick with it, and they're not. They were not slick with it. And they would say, "Oh, I'm rude because the way that I said things." Okay, that's okay. I'm rude. All right, explain to me how I am rude when you've been here for 2 weeks. There's a girl that's been here for 10 months. Then there's a girl, I've been here for almost 5 months, and you been here for 2 weeks complaining about how miserable you are and how much this sucks and blah blah blah. And then you're telling new girls that are coming in how bad it is and making them feel miserable. And then you're telling new girls, "Oh, if you 6T it, then you could get out of here quickly." 6T basically means you basically you say you're suicidal and stuff like that. So now you're messing up someone else's life because you want to tell them nonsense. You see, like, that stuff I wasn't okay with. So when I did Day Room Go, I'd address that, but I wouldn't address it in a nice way, because y'all are grown. Everyone's 18 and older. No one forced you to be here. And I used to say this all the time. You signed the papers to come here. You decided to come here, right? Did you not? Your mama ain't forced you to sign no papers, did she? Did your father force you to? Nobody forced you to sign these papers. Your recruiters didn't force you to sign these papers. You signed these papers saying that you wanted to come here. Now that you decided you didn't want to be here, you've been here for a week, and you realize, "Oh shit, this is not what I want." You're going to tell other people nonsense. I'm not with all of that, because you're not going to mess up nobody else's life. And that's how I was. Everything that I said, sometimes I didn't say it in the nicest way, but at that point, I didn't care about saying things in the nicest ways, because you're grown. You are very grown. And there's no reason why people were doing a lot of the stuff that they were doing. They didn't see a problem with the way I handled things and how I did things. And if they did, they told me. They were like, "Hey, Hazeward, I get what you were trying to say, but say it this way next time." They always corrected me, and I had no problem with correction if it was for a valid reason. MedHold is not bad. It's not a bad place. It's actually a learning experience, because you see what you can handle and what you can't bear. You end up having to deal with more than you actually go through in line flight, I believe, because you have girls rotating in and out every single day. You meet new girls every single day. You create friendships and bonds with people that you probably would never see again in your life. And it sucks some days and it hurts some days, because sometimes when you're ready to get up out of there, you see people RTTing, which is returning to training, and you can't return to training. It hurts a little bit more every single day. You get sick of seeing it a little bit more every single day. And that's the point I was at. I was so sick of seeing it. I was so hurt. I was going through it. I wasn't depressed. I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was emotionally drained. I was so drained. And some of the girls that were there with me, they understand and they know it, because they were drained, because all they wanted to do was return to training, because some people had situations where returning home was not an option, or returning home would be a problem, which I totally get and I understand. And it just, when you want something so badly and it doesn't fall through for you, it hurts you in other ways that you cannot even begin to imagine. And some people don't understand that, and they didn't understand that and I think that's why I was the way I was, because most of the girls that I was friends with in MEDHOLD, we all wanted to be an airman. We all wanted to pass that line. We all wanted to do was to return to training, or have the opportunity to return to training and just get out of there. We wanted it so badly. And then when you had girls coming in and just saying a whole bunch of stuff and just they're not being aware of their surroundings. They're not aware of their surroundings. And then there was this one girl, she came in and she told me, she was there for her first day. She told me, she's like, Hazelwood, I can't do this. I'm gonna go. Her first day, she was like, she's gonna return to training, da 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 da. Great. Then the second day, we spoke again, and she was like, oh no, I'm not doing this, I'm going home. I sat her down and I was like, no, you're not going home. I was like, you are not going home, because you have the opportunity to fight this, and you're gonna fight it, and you're gonna win, and you're gonna return back to training. I said, I wish I was in a predicament where I can fight this and return to training, and if you can return to training, you're gonna return to training. And she did, and I'm so happy for her. And she would say, she's like, hey, I was ready to go home, and then Hazelwood spoke to me and made me realize I don't want to go home, and I'm not going home, and I fight. And she did it, and I'm so happy for her, and I'm so proud of her. She was an amazing girl. I can't finish that sentence. No, can't even finish that sentence. MEDHOLD was an experience that I needed. That's what I can say. There we go. MEDHOLD was an experience that I needed. It helped mature me. It helped build me up as a person, and I am very grateful for it. We're gonna leave that at that. But these girls, they helped me get through MEDHOLD, because I had some real, I wouldn't say some real lows, because when I did get low, I kind of just went in the bathroom and cried by myself. And then some of these girls were like, no, you're not gonna give up. You're not going home. You got this. You're here for a reason, and you're gonna finish. Like, you're going to. And then even when I found out that I couldn't stay anymore, they still helped me out a lot. And I am very grateful for these girls that I had in my life. Like, Blast, oh my goodness. The first night, Blast, Matherin. The first night or the second night, Blast, Matherin, BB, all of them got there. We had something called Saturday night. It was a Saturday night, and I don't know what we all sat in the day room, and we just talked, and we all just had so much fun that night. We just laughed, joked around, made jokes, and we all built a friendship that night. And ever since that night, we hung out almost every single night in the day room. We was loud as shit, I'm not gonna lie to you. Loud as shit. Other people hated it, but at the same time, we did not care. Not because we didn't care about how people felt. It was what made us happy, and we weren't gonna like make ourselves miserable to make anybody else happy. This is what made us get through the day, and it made it easier, and we loved it. So every Saturday night turned into every night, but we still called it Saturday night. And we would just dance in the day room, joke, play games. Like, it was fun. It was a fun experience when it came to those girls. Now let me talk to y'all about JJ. This girl JJ, when she came here, when she came into MEDHOLD, I was like, what is wrong with this girl? And I was like, bro, what is wrong with this girl? I barely spoke to JJ first. I don't know. I think we spoke, but not really. But JJ is the funniest character that I met in MEDHOLD, I swear. Besides Dixon. Dixon's funny. Dixon's a whole different story. But JJ, she is funny as shit, bro. Y'all don't understand. JJ, you talk to JJ, she always used to be like this. Shoulders up like this, like she like a fighting stance every single time you talking to her. So what happened? What did you say? Like always ready to pop off on somebody. And JJ is like this tall. All right, let me not play here. She's a little, she's like 5 feet, maybe. But JJ was, I don't know how to explain JJ, bro. I wish some of these girls were here right now so they could help me explain JJ, because she really cracked me up. She used to just stand by you and just stand on you like this and just talk to you, or just stand there just to feel someone's presence. Like, she's mad funny. Her and Dixon used to crack me up, because she would say something to Dixon. They both of them together literally have, oh my god, bro. I can't even explain some of the shit JJ did. I had a note. I can't find the note right now. She's lucky because I showed her the note the other night. Rodriguez, yo, my last couple days when me and her got our precept, we got our precept at the same time, bro. Once we got our precept and we knew we was going home, or not even, no, when we got our LON and we knew we was going home, me and Rodriguez was like this. We did everything together. We was running the whole base together, doing everything, because at this point we were like, you know what? We're going home. They're sending our asses home. Might as well have fun the last couple days that we're here, you know? She was another person who became a confidant in my life, because she understood my feelings of what I was going through. Like, MEDHOLD is a mental thing. It is really, really and truly a mental thing. And you have to stay mentally strong to make it through MEDHOLD. If you don't stay mentally strong, you will crack and you will break, and then you will see another side of yourself that you do not like. And yeah, no, you have to stay strong in MEDHOLD. Uribe, she was a great friend also. We went to Viper together, and we started our walk to runs, and she was able to pass her walk to runs and return to training. I passed my walk to runs, but I was not able to return to training. But I was so happy for her, because she pushed through, and she really deserves what she got. I'm happy she got out of there. One person who deserved to get out of there and didn't was Lyric. Oh my goodness, Lyric deserved to get out of there more than anyone. I wish she did. When I left, I was so worried about her, because she is one of the girls that was with me from the jump, from the beginning. She came into MEDHOLD a week before I did, and her injuries were worse than mine, but they weren't similar, but they were the same type of like stress fractures type of thing. And it was, I really rooted for her, because she went through a lot. She honestly and truly deserved better. She deserved to finish, and she tried everything she can to finish. That girl is a fighter. That girl is a true fighter. She was so strong. She fought through every pain, all the pain. She tried everything she could to really and truly get out of MEDHOLD. She did it. She did the thing, honestly and true. Clean up that wing like boom, baby. Overall, did I hate MEDHOLD? Yes. When I go back to BMT, do I plan on going to MEDHOLD? No. The only time I'm gonna go to MEDHOLD is for Airman's testimonial, so I can say hi to my old MTIs and be like, hey, I'm back. This time I made it through. You know? All I gotta say is that Alpha 4 and 5 merge. I was so happy when we unmerged. Oh my goodness, I was so happy when we unmerged, because all my friends all came to the dorm that I was in. And that's when I became dorm chief, and we enjoyed our time. Day room go was simple. It wasn't too long. We had a great time in my dorm. We all got along. We all laughed, and if there was any drama or any problems, me and Dixon deaded that shit because we wasn't with the nonsense. Like, there is no need for drama or beef in this dorm. And if you have a problem, you're gonna speak about your problem right then and there. And if you don't want to speak about your problem right then and there, done, cut it, because you're not bringing it back up. This is your opportunity. Talk what you need to talk about, and if not, dead it, because we're not about the nope, don't need all that drama in our life. Dixon was a great mentor in the sense that she was there longer than me. She knew the ropes better than me, and she taught me a lot. She taught me a lot. I remember one time I was in my bed. I think this is when I found out that they were trying to send me home. I went in my bed and I was just literally crying, and I was just crying so much. And Dixon came to me, and she came on bed. She sat on me. She's like, "Why are you crying?" She's like, "Why are you being a weak ass?" She's like, "Why are you being weak?" She's like, "It's okay." She's like, "It's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. You gotta go home, but you can come back. It's all right. It's not your time right now. You'll be all right. You go home. You heal. You get your body together. You get your mental together. You get everything together and right. And then you come back. It's okay. There's no reason to cry." And this girl, I loved her because she became my person the last couple weeks. Like, she became the person, like, when I needed a little bit of, like, talking to because I was being a weak. She was the one who put me back together. Like, when she saw me crying, she's like, "Why are you crying? What are you crying for?" Like, she was the one who helped me to be Ooh, yeah, she was great. I loved her. I really do. I miss her. I miss her. I miss her stuttering, maybe. I miss her. I miss Lyric. I really do miss Lyric. I really do. I miss Rodriguez, Blast, and Matherin. BB, she was funny. BB was funny as hell. Like, she would say things in Day Room Go, and it would be like, not to be racist, but... And she wouldn't even say nothing racist. She just used to always say that for no reason at all. Well, no, sometimes it was for a reason because she didn't want nobody to get offended. But Vivi, I love her. She's funny as shit. She was not with none of the nonsense at all. She wasn't with the shit. When she found out she was time for her to go, she was... Yeah, like I was saying, being in MEDHOLD longer than a month really starts to take a toll on a person, and some people don't realize that and understand that. And that's why I respect Dixon a lot, because that girl was there longer than anyone I know, and she did it. She stayed strong, and she did it. Everybody has their breaking point, and that's given. That is honestly and totally given. You deserve to have a breaking point, because you don't know what it's like to get up every single day and do absolutely nothing day in and day out. Just you get up and all you do is nothing, bro. Nothing. You wake up. It's just a repeat of the same cycle. You read books, yes, you do. You go out to make yourself busy and do whatever you need to stay busy, but you don't do anything. There's only so much as you can possibly do before you get tired of doing it. You repeat the same lifestyle every single day, and you get tired of it. You honestly and truly do get tired of it. And that's why I say it's for the strong, because you have to be able to stay strong. So my girls, Blast and Matherin, I love them to death, because when I started having my headaches and they were constant and they were giving me so much trouble, those two girls, like, they literally came with me to the emergency room every single time. Even though the doctor said there was nothing wrong with me, they couldn't figure out why I was having the headaches. They told me it could have been just stress headaches, and they prescribed me just like ibuprofen and stuff like that, even though that didn't help. Blas and Matherin did not care what time it was, what day it was. They came with me every single time, and I really love them for that. And they helped me because I was stressing really badly at, like, as soon as I got home. A couple days after I got home, headaches went away. I don't have them like that anymore. Sometimes I do, but not really. It's been perfectly fine since I've been home. But on our trips when we went to the emergency room, we bro, we stacked up on snacks because we're not allowed to have snacks in the dorm. And so we would stack up on the snacks, and this called contraband, and everybody had contraband in the dorm, you know. It's something that we had nothing to do. We had nothing to munch on. We were bored all day, so it kind of helped. Even my girl Johnson, when she came to MEDHOLD, that girl turned into a snack fiend. Anytime we went to the mini mall, she would buy snacks. She'd be like, snacks. And we would just sit in the dorm and we just sit there, talk, chill. I mean, if we knew there was what's it called? A raid coming, we dump it all, throw it out, and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we didn't want to get in trouble because you can get in trouble for having stuff like that. But it is what it is. We made the best of a bad situation. That's what we did. Like, me, Blast, Math, Dixon, Lyric. Lyric and Dixon were learning how to twerk it in the dorm because we had a radio. And so at night they would have like a dance class. They'd be learning how to twerk and stuff in the day room, and we just listen to music. Dixon's favorite song at the time was "Balling" by Roddy Ricch, and what's the other song by Roddy Ricch? Y'all know the other song by Roddy Ricch that I'm talking about. Box. There we go. Those were her two songs. And when those songs came on, you couldn't tell her nothing. She turned the radio up loud. Like, we made the best of it. Like, we had fun. This is when we moved back into Alpha 4 because we unmerged. But when we moved back into Alpha 4 and we unmerged, we enjoyed our time together. Like, I love these girls, and I'm so glad I met them. I'm so glad I had my time with them because they made my last couple days, weeks in MEDHOLD really, really good. Every single last one of them. But yeah, Uribe, France, JJ, Matherin, Blast, Dixon, Lyric, Sylvia, BB, like Rodriguez. All of these girls were great, and I'm so glad I met them. They're like lifetime friends. I don't have to talk to them every day. We don't speak every day, but I know that if I need someone to talk to, these girls are a great source, and I can always go and talk to them. And I am very thankful for meeting them. Like, no one understands, because my last couple weeks were really, really harsh. I was like, even Gibson, I cannot even forget about that girl. That girl was going through a lot, and I love her. But it's a lot of people that they could have just ignored me and they could have seen me feeling bad and just been like, well, fuck. They could have seen me being upset and in the way I was, and could have just been like, well, she'll figure it out on her own. But no, they always did something to make me laugh. These girls call me grandma, skin flakes, like, because I was the oldest. I'm only 22, but I wasn't the oldest, but I acted like a grandma, they say. Whatever. And I think I was one of the oldest, so they called me grandma, they called me skin flakes, because and I read a lot of books. Like, all I would do is read. Well, we all sit in the day room, they'd all be laughing, chilling, and I would be sitting there reading my book. I was a book fanatic. Every time I used to go to the mini mall or the main BX, I would buy books. Like, all I cared about was reading books. Books helped me pass my time too. I read so many books in MEDHOLD. I would read a 400-page book or 600-page book in a day. That's how much time we had, guys. I can read a 600-page book in a day because of MEDHOLD. That's how much time we had. I'll be reading my book on the bus, while I was at appointments, while I was wingmanning someone. I was always reading. Always. I'm not gonna lie, MEDHOLD isn't that bad that people make it out to be. It really isn't, because when you're in MEDHOLD, they have something called Alpha 3, where Alpha 3, you have the library, You have computers for you to use the computers. You have like 15 to 30 minutes on the computer. They have a pool table. They have a game room. They have a foosball table. And they just added massage chairs like 2 weeks before I left. I got to use a massage chair before I left. Man, that thing was bomb. But like, because it massages everything. It was so nice. But yeah, MEDHOLD is not as bad as people make it to seem. It's really not. It depends on who you are and how you make the situation and who you hang out with. If you hang out with a whole bunch of miserable people, you're going to be miserable the whole time. But if you hang out with people who are not miserable, who know how to make a bad situation fun, you're going to have a good time. I mean, granted, it's 60 girls in a dorm, 50 girls in a dorm, 40 girls. Like, you're living between 20 to 60 girls in one dorm. There is going to be drama. There's bound to be drama. But you can stop the drama and you can take hold and make sure, like if you're a dorm chief, bay chief, you can make sure that drama is ended and deaded so where it doesn't continue. And that's what we did in Alpha 4. We made sure we deaded the drama because we weren't with the whole. What I was trying to end this and say was MEDHOLD was an experience. I enjoyed it some days, hated it some days, because some days was a blast. Like when we got Base Liberty, me and my friends, we went on base, we enjoyed ourselves. Like when we went bowling one day, that was our best day. We ordered like 40 wings and we just enjoyed ourselves for like 4 hours, and we just had a break, a breather. It was me, Jackson, Matherin, and Blasting Game, and we in Dixon, and we enjoyed ourselves that day. It was fun. It was literally one of the best days that I can remember in MEDHOLD, because some days were really bad. But you have really good moments, you have really bad moments. It all depends on how you take it. You have to take MEDHOLD day by day. You can't predict what's gonna happen because your day can take you anywhere. Like I said, you can make the best out of a bad situation. Okay, just always remember that. That's a key thing that people need to remember when it comes to life in general, not just MEDHOLD, not just the Air Force, not the military, just in life in general. You can always make a bad situation better any way you possibly can. You just have to think out the box and make it work. I just have to see how things go and continue to go. Just I'm praying every day. I wake up every day and I'm just like, I'm gonna make it back. I'm gonna get back there. So we will see how things go. I will keep you guys updated and informed about my healing process. And thank you guys for watching. See you.